Shalom Aleichem. How are you? My name is Rabbi Yossi Lipsker, and welcome once again to another edition of Taste of Torah. It's Erev Shabbat, and there's a great energy going on this week. It's an energy of coming home, and we see this because of a number of things. First of all, we start reciting the prayer of a Saint Talmud Matar. Now, the reasoning given for starting this prayer at this time is, we find it in the Talmud, in Masechet Ta'anit. It's the opinion of Rabban Gamliel. Rabban Gamliel says that we waited all this time to make sure that the pilgrims, the people that made the Ola Regel, went up to Jerusalem for the Chagim, had enough time to come back to their homes and not get caught in muddy water on their way getting home. Now, granted, today we have much more convenient ways of travel, and we're not going by foot, and we're not worried that we're going to get caught in the mud in the Euphrates. Nevertheless, it's a tradition that we have, and more importantly is there's a spiritual energy to it, to this idea of an ending of the journey. And we find, interestingly enough, this parallel idea in the portion that we're reading today. It's all about Yaakov, our patriarch, after 20 years of being on the road, of being on his own type of personal spiritual journey, on a pilgrimage as well. He's coming back home as well. So there's this theme of coming home. And it's interesting because Judaism, oftentimes we get the message, the opposite message. The message that we're supposed to be going out and journeying and intellectual quest and self-discovery, and there's a premium placed in our religion, in our faith, in our culture of being on the road and this journey, engaging in a journey of self-discovery. But the truth of the matter is, this week we get the opposite message, and sometimes we need to hear this too. And that message is that even though we're on this quest, this spiritual quest to find ourselves, we're making pilgrimages in our lives, and Judaism encourages us to do that. Nevertheless, at the same time, it's also important from time to time to come back home. To come back home and to get out of the rain, to get out of the messiness of the journey, and come inside. Come back home to our people, to the warmth of our culture, to the warmth of our tradition, to our families, to our homes, to our people. And Shabbat is really the same idea. You know, during the week, we travel out into our lives and we try and make an impact on the world and we try and discover ourselves. But on Shabbat, we come back home. That's what we're doing. So the message of this week is to strike the right balance between going out in the journey of the finding of the self and not getting caught up in that journey as a means to itself, but as a means to an end. And the end is not the hiding of the self, but the discovery of the self. And in order to really discover the self, we have to come home. So to all of you out there, I say, come back home, come inside, enjoy a warmth of Shabbat, and next week we'll get back on the road again. Shabbat Shalom.